Have you ever experienced being insulted, criticized, or hurt by someone's words? In those moments, does your heart race, your blood boil, and you feel the urge to shout back or defend yourself immediately? Maybe you've wanted to fire back with a sharp comment or even act out in anger to protect yourself. But does that really help you feel more peaceful? Or does it just leave you feeling restless, stressed, and exhausted? Now, try to imagine a completely different reaction. When someone hurls harsh words at you, you remain unaffected. No anger, no hurt, just standing firm and calm like a rock amidst the storm. Those insults bounce off your unshakable inner wall, leaving you feeling free, light, and peaceful in a way that's hard to describe. Do you think this kind of strength is difficult to attain? Everyone faces moments in life when they are hurt by others' words, especially when those words attack or insult. At those times, your heart may feel troubled, angry, or pained. But these moments also present a choice. Will you let those words control and pull you down into negativity? Or will you rise above, maintain your calm, and refuse to let anyone harm your soul? This is the power of calmness, a power that even the great Buddha reminded us of. Holding on to anger is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to die. When you cling to anger, you only bring suffering to yourself, not to the other person. So how can we let go of that poison and not be affected by harsh and hurtful words? In this video, we will explore invaluable lessons from Buddhist philosophy that will help you master your emotions, maintain peace in the face of insults, and even turn challenges into stepping stones for growth. You will learn how to view insults not as attacks on your worth, but as reflections of the speaker's pain. You will discover how to observe situations with the mindset of a witness without getting swept away by negative emotions. You will realize the incredible strength of silence, not as avoidance, but as a noble response that stops conflict in its tracks. You'll also be guided on how to transform criticism into opportunities for self-improvement, how to build a solid sense of self-worth from within so you aren't shaken by others' judgments, and how to cultivate emotional resilience so that you don't suffer for long. Most importantly, you will find the power of compassion, a force that can dissolve tension, break the cycle of hatred, and keep your heart pure and peaceful. Let's embark on this journey together. It's not an easy path, but it's a meaningful one that leads to true freedom, living unaffected by the words of others and finding calm amid life's storms. If you are looking for ways to stay calm and unbothered by insults, this video is for you. Stay with me till the end because every moment will bring you closer to genuine inner freedom. 1. Insults reflect the speaker, not you. When someone insults or criticizes you, the first and most important thing to remember is that those words do not reflect your true self or your real value. Instead, they reveal more about the person speaking, their inner struggles, and unresolved emotions. Insults often stem from pain, insecurity, or deep wounds that the speaker carries within. When someone uses harsh words to attack you, they are unintentionally or intentionally projecting their own negative feelings outward. For example, a person lacking confidence might frequently lash out to assert power or hide their own vulnerability. Understanding that insults are about the speaker, not you, makes it easier to maintain emotional distance and protect yourself from being hurt. For instance, you might have a colleague who often criticizes you sharply. Instead of taking it personally, try to see their situation. Maybe they are under work pressure, stressed in life, or dissatisfied with themselves. With this empathy, you stop seeing their words as true attacks on you, but rather as signs of their own difficulties. As the Buddha taught, we become what we think. Insults are merely reflections of negative, troubled thoughts in the speaker's mind, not your reality. If you accept this truth, you will no longer be affected negatively. In fact, by realizing this, you build a psychological shield, a protective layer that keeps you from being dragged into cycles of anger or pain. You learn to view criticism like passing clouds that do not obscure the clear sky of your soul. This is the first, yet vital step in the journey to stay calm and unbothered by others' harsh words. When you refuse to accept insults as your truth, you regain control over your emotions and refuse to let others' words dictate your mood and life. 2. Mastering the art of letting go. Observe without getting carried away. Letting go does not mean being indifferent or numb to negative words or actions you encounter. Instead, it is the art of maintaining distance between yourself and negative emotions, observing situations with mindfulness without getting caught up in the emotional whirlwind. In Buddhism, letting go means non-attachment, not allowing your mind to be bound by things that disturb your peace. When someone insults or criticizes you, rather than reacting immediately with anger or hurt, try to pause and observe. Imagine you are watching a movie and those insults are just a scene in it, not your real life. You stand outside the story, calmly and be objectively observing. This skill creates a necessary gap between the event and your emotions. This gap helps you avoid being swept away by negativity, allowing you to stay calm and clear-headed to choose your appropriate response. It also reduces emotional damage because you don't get caught in the emotional storm caused by others' words. The Buddha taught that attachment is the root of suffering. When you cling to insults, anger, or pain, you create your own suffering. Conversely, when you practice letting go and observing, you feel a sense of lightness and freedom in your heart. In reality, letting go is a skill that needs practice over time. At first, it can be difficult because emotions often dominate strongly. But through mindfulness meditation or self-awareness techniques, you gradually learn not to be overwhelmed by emotions and to maintain clarity. For example, a friend once shared that when facing harsh criticism, instead of reacting immediately, she focused on her breath and observed the emotions rising inside. This helped her avoid getting caught in negativity, stay calm, and respond more wisely. In short, mastering the art of letting go means learning to observe without being carried away by emotions, creating a gap between the event and your reaction. This is the key to staying calm, avoiding harm, and living more peacefully in the face of harsh words. 3. Silence is strength. In life, when faced with insults or negative words, many people's natural reaction is to respond immediately. However, silence is an invisible yet powerful strength that helps you maintain control and peace within your soul. Silence does not mean weakness, timidity, or indifference to the situation. On the contrary, It is a conscious choice, a way to refuse allowing others' negative words to control your emotions and actions. By not engaging in arguments or conflicts, you avoid escalating tensions and protect your own mental energy. The Buddha once said, "Better than 1,000 hollow words is one word that brings peace." Silence can be the wisest response, denying the offender the chance to unsettle you or drag you into a spiral of stress. A simple example is when you face an angry person, and instead of reacting angrily, you respond with calm silence. This not only helps you maintain self-control, but can also soothe the other's anger, breaking the cycle of rage and dispute. Moreover, silence allows you to preserve your dignity and show maturity in your behavior. You don't always need to speak up to defend yourself. Sometimes, silence shows that you are unaffected by petty or negative remarks. Choosing silence also gives you time to think and process your emotions thoughtfully before deciding whether to respond. This prevents impulsive or rash reactions that might complicate the situation. In summary, silence is strength because it enables you to master your emotions, protect inner peace, and handle situations wisely and confidently. Sometimes, saying nothing is the strongest answer. 4. Turning criticism into opportunities for growth. The criticism, especially when expressed harshly or sharply, often causes us to feel hurt, frustrated, or even unfairly judged. However, if viewed with wisdom and depth, criticism can become a precious gift, an opportunity to reflect on ourselves, learn, and grow. In Buddhist philosophy, every experience, whether positive or negative, is regarded as a karmic opportunity, conditions that help us mature and progress. When you receive criticism, instead of reacting hastily or defensively, pause and ask yourself, is there any truth in this? Is there something I can learn to improve? This doesn't mean blindly accepting all criticism, especially when it's unfair or intentionally hurtful. Instead, seek out the useful fragments, points that can help you recognize habits, behaviors, or thoughts that need change. For example, when someone calls you lazy, don't get angry or deny it immediately. Instead, ask yourself if there are areas in your life where you're procrastinating, unfocused, or not trying your best. This is a chance to self-reflect and improve, turning criticism into a positive motivator. The story of the stream and the rock beautifully illustrates the power of perseverance in transforming challenges into success. The stream doesn't defeat the rock by force, but by patiently flowing around and gradually wearing it down over time. Similarly, when you turn criticism into a learning opportunity, you slowly perfect yourself, becoming stronger and more resilient. Even when criticism is invalid or unfair, it offers a chance to practice patience, self-awareness, and calmness. These lessons strengthen your mind, making you less sensitive to external negativity. By transforming criticism into a tool for growth, you convert negative energy into positive motivation, enhancing your maturity and courage. This not only protects your inner peace, but also empowers you to rise stronger and more persistent in life. In summary, instead of viewing criticism as pain or negative judgment, see it as a chance to learn and grow. How you respond to such words determines your inner strength and personal development on life's journey. 5. Self-affirmation of your own worth. One of the most powerful ways to maintain calm when facing criticism or insults is to build and nurture a strong sense of self-worth from within. Self-affirmation doesn't depend on external validation or opinions, but on recognizing and valuing yourself, regardless of negative words from others. Buddhism teaches that true peace comes from within, not from external recognition. When you base your value on others' opinions, you give them the power to influence your emotions and mood. Insults and criticisms can only hurt you if you allow them to shake your inner confidence. Practicing self-affirmation daily can be as simple as reminding yourself of your strengths, accomplishments, good qualities, and the progress you've made. You might keep a journal, read positive affirmations, or spend quiet moments reflecting on times you overcame difficulties. With a solid foundation of self-worth, negative words become background noise, unable to diminish your confidence and peace. You no longer need others to confirm your value because you have done that for yourself. Moreover, self-affirmation helps you set boundaries about what you allow into your mind. You don't have to internalize every word, especially baseless or malicious comments. You can selectively accept only constructive feedback that aligns with your growth. The Buddha said, "You yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection." When you truly love and accept yourself, you find unshakable peace. Self-affirmation is your shield against challenges, a strength that enables you to live confidently, peacefully, and undisturbed by others' words. 6. Developing emotional resilience. Emotional resilience is the ability to recover quickly from setbacks or challenges, including feelings of being hurt or offended by others' words. It is a crucial skill that helps you maintain peace and emotional control in difficult situations. In Buddhism, resilience is nurtured through mindfulness and acceptance. Rather than suppressing or avoiding negative emotions, you learn to recognize them clearly and understand that all emotions are temporary, passing like waves on the ocean. By accepting that emotions such as anger, sadness, or hurt are natural parts of life, you reduce fear and extreme reactions. The Buddha taught, "Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. While you may not avoid the initial pain, you have full control over how you respond to it." Practicing mindfulness meditation is an effective way to develop emotional resilience. Through meditation, you learn to observe your thoughts and feelings without judgment or getting swept away. This creates a gap between emotion and reaction, allowing you to stay calm when facing criticism or insults. For example, when someone says something hurtful, instead of reacting immediately, you pause, take a deep breath, and observe the emotions rising within. You don't have to deny these feelings, but you also don't let them control your actions. This way, you turn negative emotions into valuable lessons, strengthening your resilience and inner peace. Additionally, emotional resilience includes self-compassion, loving and understanding yourself in times of difficulty. It's okay to feel hurt, but don't let that pain define you. Treat yourself as you would a good friend, gently and forgivingly acknowledging moments of vulnerability. Developing emotional resilience not only helps you overcome insults, but also lays the foundation for living a peaceful, strong, and happier life. 7. Rising above with compassion. Compassion is one of the most powerful qualities that helps us overcome anger, hurt, and stress when facing negative words or actions from others. Instead of responding with anger or resentment, Compassion allows us to see others with understanding and empathy. In Buddhism, compassion does not mean agreeing with or accepting insults, but recognizing that those who cause harm are themselves carrying pain, fear, or struggles. When you choose to respond with compassion, you protect your own inner peace and help soften the negative energy around you. For example, when someone speaks harshly, instead of getting angry, you can pause and consider that they might be going through a difficult phase or battling inner fears and stress. This shift in mindset helps you see them not as enemies, but as people in need of understanding and kindness. The Buddha taught, hatred does not cease by hatred, but only by love. When you respond with compassion, you break the cycle of hatred and contribute to peace for both yourself and others. Compassion also includes being gentle with yourself. When hurt, it's natural to feel pain, but don't let it turn into anger or self-doubt. Treat yourself with the same kindness and forgiveness you would offer a close friend in difficulty. Rising above with compassion is the path to deep peace, allowing you to face insults with generosity and spiritual maturity. Life inevitably brings moments when we are hurt, misunderstood, or criticized by others' words. But what truly matters is not whether you are offended, but how you choose to respond. Learning to stay calm, not be swept away by negative emotions, and turn criticism into opportunities for growth is the key to maintaining inner peace and strength. By understanding that insults reflect the speaker, not you, you build a strong shield for your soul. When you master the art of letting go and observing without getting carried away, you no longer become a victim of emotions, but the master of your own feelings. Silence is not weakness, but a power that helps you maintain dignity and composure. Moreover, turning criticism into motivation allows continuous self-improvement and growth. Self-affirmation enables you to live confidently, undisturbed by others' words. Emotional resilience helps you recover quickly from hurt, and compassion is the strength that preserves peace and dissolves tension and hatred. This journey is not easy, but every step brings you closer to freedom within your soul. Peace does not come from avoiding negative words, but from facing, transforming, and overcoming them. When you achieve this, you become the true master of your life, living with serenity and happiness. Remember, true strength is not in reacting strongly to insults, but in maintaining calmness and an open heart amidst challenges. Let compassion guide your way, and peace will always accompany you on every path you take. If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and share it so more people can benefit from these valuable lessons. Also, subscribe to the channel so you never miss content that helps you live more peacefully and happily every day.